Good afternoon, boys and girls. I hope your weekend was nice and you enjoyed staying at home. Nowadays, it's just about eating, drinking, and sleeping. Welcome to this day's lesson, mathematics. Today, we are looking at fractions and decimals revision. And why did I want us to look at fractions and divisions? It's because most of you have problems with fractions and decimals, and so doing it all over and over again will help you master the operations on them. So our first question and example is we are multiplying a mixed number and a fraction, a mixed number and a fraction. Mixed number is these two, and 1 over 2 multiplied by 6. Our first step here is to change the mixed number into an improper fraction. Mixed number is 2 and 1 over 2. So we multiply 2 by the denominator, then we add the numerator. And so our first step would be 2, that denominator, times 2, that whole number, plus 1 all over 2. All over 2. That is the first mixed number. Then we multiply by 1 over 6. I hope up to there you have understood. And so we multiply 2 by 2. We get 4. We get 4. Let's bring it here because of space. We get 4 plus 1 over 2. Then multiply by 1 over 6. Remember, I'm carrying everything in every step so that I don't forget one. Then we come here and say 4 plus 1 is 5. So we say we have 5 over 2 multiplied by 1 over 6. We check if we can be able to simplify by cancelling, but we are not able to simplify by cancelling. And so we multiply the numerator by the numerator, that is 5 times 1 over 2 times 6. What do we get when we multiply 5 by 1? We get 5. We get 5. And what do we get when we multiply 2 by 6? We get 12. We get 12. So our answer there would be 5 over 12. I hope you have understood. Then you can attempt this question, 3 over 4 multiplied by 10 and 5 over 9, following the method I have explained above here. Let's go to the next part of the lesson, multiplying mixed numbers. Both of them are mixed numbers. And so our first step is to express the mixed numbers as improper fractions. Again, we multiply the denominator by the whole number plus the numerator. So here the denominator is 3 multiplied by the whole number, which is 6, plus the numerator, which is 1, all over 3. Then multiply again. We do the same to this other mixed number. We multiply the denominator 2 times the whole number 1 plus the numerator 1 all over 2. All over 2. And so we bring all this here. After multiplying 3 by 6, we will get 18. Then we add 1 over 3. Then we multiply 2 times 1. It is 2. Then we add 1 over 2. We come to the next step. That would be 18 plus 1. That becomes 19 over 3, then multiply 2 plus 1, that is 3 over 2. Now we check if we can be able to simplify by cancelling. And yes, we can simplify by cancelling. 3 and 3 can cancel one another. By 3, 3 divided by 3 is 1, and 3 divided by 3 is 1. So here we have 19 times 1. We have 19 times 1, boys and girls, which is 19. And we have 2 times 1, which is 2. that is an improper fraction, and we are not allowed to leave an answer as an improper fraction, and so we convert it to a mixed number. That will be 19 divided by 2. What is 19 divided by 2? 19 divided by 2 is 19 divided by 2 is 9 because of 18. We subtract, that will be 1. So our answer here, boys and girls, will be that 9, and this will be the numerator over 2. So our answer will be 9 and 1 over 2. I hope you have understood that. These sums are at your disposal. You can replay the video again and again for you to be able to understand. You attempt this question following that example. Let's quickly go to our next part of the lesson. Multiply a whole number by a fraction. A whole number by a fraction, or vice versa. Now here, we have this whole number and this fraction. Let's make the whole number a fraction because they must be alike. So we put over 1. The whole number we put over 1 so that it's also a fraction. And then we change the mixed number into an improper fraction. 8, that will be 8 multiplied by 2 plus 5 all over 8 multiplied by 6 over 1. We go to the next part of the board. 8 times 2 is 16. That will be 16. Now plus 5 over 8, then multiplied by 6 over 1. What is 16 plus 5? 16 plus 5, boys and girls, is 21. Now over 8 times 6 over 1. We are checking if we can simplify by cancelling. And we can get a common divisor between 6 and 8. And the common divisor here is 2. So 8 divided by 2 is 4. And 6 divided by 2 is 3. So we go to our next part. So 21 we multiply by 3. 21 we multiply by 3 over 4. So what is 21 multiplied by 3? 21 multiplied by 3 is 63 over 4. Again, that is an improper fraction. We cannot leave the answer as an improper fraction. We will divide 63 by 4. 63 by 4. Into 6. 6 divided by 4 is 1 because of 4. We subtract. We remain with 2. We drop 3. 23 divided by 4 is 5 because of 20. The difference here will be 3. So the answer will be 15 and 3 over 4. That will be the answer. You can use that explanation there to work out this sum there. Let's go to the squares of fractions and mixed numbers. Squares of fractions and mixed numbers. A square of a number, boys and girls, is that number multiplied by itself. A square of a number is that number multiplied by itself. So if we say a square of 2, that means 2 times 2. A square of 10, that means 10 times 10. The result will be the square. So the square of 5 over 8 will be 5 over 8 multiplied by 5 over 8. And since we cannot cancel, we will multiply 5 by 5 and 8 by 8. So 5 times 5 is 25 and 8 by 8 is 64. So the answer here will be 25 over 64. That is the square of 5 over 8. Example number 2. Again, we multiply 4 whole 1 over 5 multiplied by 4 whole 1 over 5. When we are multiplying, it's a rule that you convert a mixed number into an improper fraction. And so we multiply 5 by 4, then plus 1. Again, we bring it here. So 5 times 4 plus 1 all over 5 multiplied by 5 times 4 plus 1 all over 5. These numbers are the same. And so 5 times 4 is 20 plus 1 is 21. So we'll have 21 over 5 times 21 over 5. What is 21 multiplied by 21? Because we are multiplying that way and that way. What is 21 multiplied by 21? That is going to be 441 over 5 times 5, which is 25. Boys and girls, that is an improper fraction. We cannot leave it that way. And so we divide. So it's 441 divided by 25. 44 divided by 25 is 1 because of 21. 25, sorry. We subtract. We will borrow 1 from here so that we remain with 3. Then the 1 we have borrowed, we add to 4. It becomes 14. So 14 minus 5 is 9. 14 minus 5 is 9. And 3 minus 1 is minus 2 is 1. Then we draw that 1. Now we have 191. 191. We look for the closest multiple of 25, closer to 191. Let's try 6. You have your working space. Let's try 6. Let's say this is my working space. 25 times 6. This times that. 5 times 6 is 30. Carry 1. 6 times 2 is 12 plus 3, that is 18. So that becomes 1. It's 15. It's 15, sorry. 15. That becomes 150. Let's see if 7 can give us a better one. 25 times 7. 35 because of we write 5 because of 35. We carry 3 times that is 14 plus 3 is 17. That is 175. 175. Let's see if 8 is even better than 7. That's what you're supposed to be doing. 25 times 8. 8 times 5 is 40. Carry 4. 8 times 2 is 16 plus 4 is 220. That gives us 200. Now look at that. That is 200. 200 is bigger than 191. So we are not going to go for that. We'll go for 175, which is because of 7. So that is 7 because of 175. Then we subtract. We subtract 175. Sorry, boys and girls. 175. Then we subtract. We borrow 1 from 9. We remain with 8. We bring there 1. So 11. Subtract 5. We get 6. And then 8 subtract 7, we get 1. So that is 16. So the answer, boys and girls, will be 17 and 16 over 25. That brings us to the end of that sum. And so you can use these 2 examples to attempt this question and that question. I hope you have understood. Allow me to rub this. I used it as a rough work. I used it as a rough work. Now let's go to square roots of fractions and mixed numbers. Square roots of fractions and mixed numbers. A square root of a number is a number that when you multiply by itself, you get that number. A number, when you multiply by itself, you get that number. Let's go on. So here, there is a rule where we find the square root of 9 on its own, and then the square root of 49 on its own. Are we together? So that's going to be, the square root of 9 is 3, and the square root of 49 is 7. So the answer here would be 3 over 7. That's the square root of 9 over 49. Thank you. We go to this one. 6 and 1 over 4 is a mixed number. Again, we change it into an improper fraction. That would be 4 multiplied by 6 plus 1 all over 4. And that will be 4 times 6 is 24 plus 1, 25. 25 over 4. We get the square root of 25 over 4. Of course, the square root of 25 is 5, and the square root of 4 is 2. Are we together? And so the answer cannot be an improper fraction. So we divide 5 divided by 2. What is 5 divided by 2? It is 2 because of 4. The difference is 1. So the answer is going to be 2 and 1 over 2. Great. Hope you've understood. You can use those examples to attempt these questions. Let us go to divisions of fractions and mixed numbers. Division of fractions and mixed numbers. We divide these ones and that one. Example number 1 is 5 over 6 divided by 20 over 28. We bring it here. That will be 5 over 6. We change the sign and reciprocate the second fraction. Becomes 28 over 20. 28 over 20. We look for a number, common divisor between them. And here is 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 20 divided by 5 is 4. And then between 6 and 28, we can use 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3, and 28 divided by 2 is 14. 14. And so what do we remain with? It will be 1 times 14, that is 14, and 3 times 4, that is 12. I can see we still can simplify further. By 2 here we have 7, and by 2 here we have 6. And so this one, the result here is 7 over 6, which we must change it into a mixed number by dividing. 7 by 6 is 1 because of 6, and remainder 1. So the answer becomes 1 whole 1 over 6. That is going to be the answer. That's going to be the answer. Let's go to example number 2 under that subtopic. Example number 2 here, we change both the numbers into an improper fraction. 5 multiplied by 1, that will be 5 times 1 plus 4 over 5 divided by 3 times 2 plus 2 over 3. We bring it here. The result will be 5 times 1 is 5 plus 4 is 9. That will be 9 over 5 divided by 3 times 2 is 6 plus 2 is 8. That will be 8 over 3. Then we change the sign. That will be 9 over 5 multiply. Then we reciprocate 3 over 8. 3 over 8. Now, here we don't see any number to divide. And so we multiply 9 by 3 and 5 over 8. What is 9 multiplied by 3? That is 27. 27. What is 5 multiplied by 8? That is 40. Boys and girls, that remains the answer. That becomes the answer. You attempt these two questions following these two examples. Now, boys and girls, we are going to the operations on decimals. We are going to the operations on decimals. This arrangement, 64 plus 2 minus 64.2 minus 35.125 plus 0.175. BODMAS, the law of integers, the plus and the minus, says we cannot arrange it this way. So we rearrange. Boys and girls say rearrange. Rearrange. We rearrange the sum. This is how we are rearranging the sum. It will become 64.2 plus, we carry this, plus 0.75, then minus 35.125. So that's how it's supposed to be. And then we now can carry out the operation. So 64.2 plus 0.75. That brings us to 5. 14 carry 1.5, then 6. Then we subtract, we'll bring it here, 65.45 subtract 35.125. We add there 0 to bring to balance it. So 0 cannot subtract 5. We borrow 1 from there. We remain with 4. So that is 10 minus 5, which is 5. 4 minus 2 is 2. 4 minus 1 is 3. Then 5 minus 5 is 0. 6 minus 3 is 3. So boys and girls, the answer becomes that. Let's look at the next question, the next example. The next example is 23.5 times 10 when we are multiplying with 10 multiplication. And so we express 23.5 as a fraction. 23.5 as a fraction is 235 over 10 because it has one decimal place. Then multiplied by 10 over 1. This is simpler because we will cancel by 10, 1, by 10, 1. And our answer will become 235. I hope you've understood that. And finally, boys and girls, it is 23.4 divided by 8. 23.4 divided by 8. We still express it as a fraction. That will become 234 over 10 divided by 8 over 1. Now that brings us to this 234 over 10 times 1 over 8. Remember, we are changing the sign. Yes? Now we can simplify by cancelling. Now, let's begin by 2. We start small. By 2, 8 divided by 2 is 4, and 8 divided by 234 divided by 2 is 117. 117. That is the answer. 117. Yes, 117. Now we have 117 over 40. 117 over 40 because 10 times 4 is 40. So here we have 117 over 40. Now we divide it using a long division method. We divide it using a long division method. Divided by 40. 40 cannot go into 1, neither can it go into 11, but it can go into 100. 2 times because of 80. Because of 80. So we subtract 7, 11, that's 37. Now we put a 0 and add a decimal there. Right? Put a 0 and a decimal there. It is 9 because of 360. The difference is 10. Again, we into 100, it is 2 because of 80. The difference is 20. Into 200, it is 5 because of 200. So the answer will be 2.925. That will be the answer. And that is how those sums are done. We will redo the decimals in details on Friday. We'll do the decimals in details on Friday for you to understand very well. I hope you understood. Again, I say you play it again and again for you to be able to understand well. Boys and girls, have a lovely evening.